Welcome to Let's Talk Vision. I am your host, Gina Perrin, along with Sybil Wolfstein. We know that there is little information out there about windows and doors, so we are here to make you a fellow window and door nerd. We also want to inspire fellow salespersons that are on the road on their way to their next appointment. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the daily grind with us. In today's episode, we are talking all about vinyl windows, the what, the how, and the why they may be the perfect fit for your house. So, good morning, Sybil. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you today?
Good. I'm doing great.
Good.
Today, vinyl is our subject, and It is one of our most popular options here in Southern California. And so because of that, we have so much to talk about. So why don't you tell me a little bit about the vinyl window itself?
Sure. So windows, people think vinyl window, they just have a basic idea of what a vinyl window is. There's a wide spectrum of different products that are available that are vinyl. So you can get something that's really basic, or you can get something that's really a luxury type product. So today we'll go through some of those differences and break it down and, hopefully help people understand what is a good vinyl window, right? Because you can get a window cheap and you can get a window expensive, and that's true for vinyl and any other product line that we offer. So I'm excited to get into it with you today.
Yeah. So that's one of the very first things that somebody will say to me when I go into a house. It's like, wait, you want to give me a plastic window? There's a lot of misinformation out there. They hear that their windows will yellow, they'll bow, they'll crack, they'll melt. Right. So I hear a lot of that.
If that were true, we'd have problems in Arizona.
100%.
Which we don't.
Yeah, 100%. So what I try to tell people is first that vinyl is on a very, very big spectrum.
Yeah.
There may be some of those products out there that will do those things. They're just not regulated by the United States. They're typically not made here. And you'd be really hard pressed to find that quality.
Yeah.
All the way up to like the highest blend vinyl. So what is the difference in the vinyl blend that makes it either a really high end vinyl or one of those really inexpensive products that would fall apart?
So, like Anlin has the proprietary blend, and they use like titanium dioxide, and there's a whole sheet, to explain how their vinyl is produced and the extrusion itself. What you really want to look for, though, is a warranty. Are they going to stand behind that product? Is it, warranted against chalking? So if you've ever had like a cheap lawn chair, you sit down and you end up with some of the vinyl on you. That's, indicative of a lower grade vinyl. Products that warranty against that kind of stuff are typically going to have a better blend of vinyl. Anlin, for instance, gives a double lifetime warranty. So not just the first homeowner, but actually transferable, full lifetime to the next homeowner. Actually, when I saw the Anlin rep, I didn't even believe it. I was like, you mean to tell me that if I live in my house for 40 years and I sell my house to someone else, you're going to warranty it again? He was like, yeah, absolutely. So they really believe in their product, against the chalking, the fading, the cracking, anything that you might hear out there that people, say about vinyl that could be true with really cheap options. That's just not going to be the case with really, really high-end manufacturers.
Yeah, 100%. So that's usually the first thing that people are very, very concerned with.
Rightly so. I mean, you're going to spend a lot of money whether you choose a lower grade or a higher grade product. So you really want to make sure you don't make a mistake.
Yeah. And we see it.
Yeah, all the time.
We see a lot.
Unfortunately, we get those calls too. People who go with another company because they just don't know the difference, and they end up having to spend money twice, which is really unfortunate. And hopefully, there's other people who can do windows. We want to educate everybody and make them aware of what exactly they're getting into so that they make a good decision. We're amazing. We're going to do a fantastic job. But even if they go somewhere else, just make sure you do it right.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I always say that everything that you purchase, from the shirt I'm wearing to this table, anything in your home is all priced to its parts and pieces.
Yes.
And the quality of those parts and pieces. And even the car you're driving, right? I don't expect
100%.
My Chevy is going to cost the same as a Bentley. The parts and pieces, the quality, if we strip it all down, are different.
Yeah.
So a window is no different.
No, exactly the same.
Windows no different.
And
yeah.
I love to use the computer analogy, right? Because if you go into Office Depot and you're just looking for a computer, hey, I need a computer. You may not know how much different a MacBook Pro is from an Acer computer, but they're $200 versus $2,000. If you're just a student looking to do your homework, an Acer is going to be just fine. But if you're looking to really do graphic design and everything else, then you're going to want to, splurge and spend the money. So same thing with vinyl products. We want to break it down for people, explain what those differences are so that they can make the right decision and make that solid investment.
Yeah. So I would say, what is about 90% of replacements done in Southern California are vinyl?
I would say so. I would say that's pretty accurate.
It's a big number. So let's talk about why vinyl is most widely used for replacements.
Definitely the go-to product.
Yeah.
The majority of our business, we do other than products, but the majority is vinyl. It just hits that sweet spot. It's affordable, it's energy efficient, has a great warranty, looks beautiful, is very secure. So like all the boxes that homeowners are looking to check off their list when they're upgrading, really, vinyl fits that bill for them.
Yeah. So let's look at some pictures. What does it look like installed?
Ta-da! Okay, so this actually shows, the window setting inside that existing opening. So most of the time, even if you have shutters or you have blinds, we can work around them. You wouldn't need to replace them. That's something we do at the initial consultation, just kind of take a look and warn people what they're in for. A lot of the times, though, it's not a big deal. We could just set right inside. Again, no major construction unless you really need it, which of course we could do that. Just using those existing openings, upgrading them, making them energy efficient and just beautiful, and not having to worry about anything is really the name of the game when you're talking vinyl. Yeah. So do you see that slightly green tint to the glass?
Yes.
So that actually helps protect like your furniture, your flooring. That is available on most all products we offer, and we'll get a whole episode, I'm sure, on glass because there's a ton of stuff to cover. But just so you know, that green hue is actually that energy efficient coating on the glass. So in case you notice it, I just want to point it out.
Which is really important. However, do we have a shot of the inside? So this is very important for the audience to know. So you will see that greenish color on the exterior, but you won't see it on the inside of your house.
Correct.
So that's really important. So like when you're standing in your house and you're looking out your windows, the outside doesn't look green. Right. It appears more green on the exterior. So it's very important to note, because people are like, I don't want my windows to be green.
Right. And also it's slightly reflective. So during the day, it's very difficult for people to see in, but watch out at night because they'll be able to see in your house pretty easy. Yeah,
exactly.
But just like this window here, like it's been retrofitted. So we use that existing frame, custom fit it in. Looks great, no mess, immediately helps encapsulate your home, make it energy efficient. The locking mechanisms on this product. So this is the Anlin Del Mar Luxury Series. Meet California Force Entry Code, so it's very, very secure. It just is a great upgrade. Again, checks all the boxes that homeowners are really looking to hit.
Got it. Okay, this is the biggest question that I get about vinyl. Besides
dun,
what melt.
dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, what color can I have?
So that's what separates vinyl from some of the other than products. So, like wood-clad, I always say is the Lamborghini of windows. So think like the MacBook Pro, right? If you're really looking for something crazy, that's where you go. If you need something that's going to do the trick, vinyl is gonna do it for you. But it is white, tan, and Adobe standard. So those colors do come extruded into the vinyl. And that is what's available. You can have the exterior painted, but it gets really expensive.
Okay. Hold on, back up, because you went a little too. For everybody who doesn't know.
Nerd?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Let's nerd it down a little bit. Okay. So white, tan, or Adobe, which is popular in like Arizona.
Yes.
White and tan is typically what we do here in California.
Definitely.
Okay. So those are what the actual window colors are. That's the standard.
Yes.
Now, to be very clear, and this is where it gets a little confusing with people, you can't paint vinyl.
Right.
Right? So if you've ever spilled nail polish, say on your granite countertop, just let it dry and you can flick it off with your thumb. It does not adhere.
Right.
So paint has the same effect on vinyl. If you would try to paint your vinyl window, it's not going to adhere. It's going to turn to garbage. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So
that's why it voids the warranty if people do it themselves.
100%.
Yeah.
So do not paint your vinyl windows.
Heads up.
Please. However, and there's a reason that the manufacturers charge a pretty good amount.
A steep premium.
We
could be honest with our listeners. It is expensive.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
If you want a colored vinyl, it's going to cost you. And the reason being is they can't paint it.
Right.
So they're not taking a paintbrush and painting your vinyl. It's a very expensive process, and
absolutely,
we probably don't want to get into the details to be bored to death, but it's an expensive process.
Just know it's expensive and time consuming.
Very expensive to rough up the vinyl, and in essence, they are baking the color in. Correct?
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So
and that's why they give you the warranty on it as well. So it is done properly by the manufacturer. It is warranted. It looks gorgeous, but it is expensive for that process.
It is gorgeous. So that shinier or plasticky look that some people say about the white on the exterior, when you go with that's a gorgeous shot right here. So this one really explains like what exterior coloring on a vinyl looks like. From a distance, you can't even tell that's a vinyl window.
No.
Right. So that is the exterior coloring, and it is a matte finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a beautiful matte finish. It's not a glossy finish like the white is. So you do have an option to have an exterior color.
Mm-hmm.
Know that it's going to cost you.
Yes.
And know that the inside of your window will still be that white or tan.
Yes, exactly.
So they only color the exterior.
Yep, that's exactly right. You can actually kind of see the white on the inside just a little bit at certain angles. Mm-hmm. But again, that's, a nerd looking closely at the window itself. You'll notice this one actually has an exterior brick mold too. So that's the exterior trim on the window, gives it a little more decoration, makes it look a little more like a wood window. So you mentioned like that doesn't even look like a vinyl window. There are certain upgrades for premium manufacturers, specifically the Anlin Del Mar, that allow you to give that sort of wood look while still having a vinyl product. So even with the paint upgrade, you're saving substantial amounts of money, and you still get the look that you want.
Compared to wood. So this client didn't want to spend the money on like a wood product.
Correct.
So it gives that kind of wood look. Even though they're paying a premium on the vinyl, it's still much less than
expensive.
A wood product.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot less. And actually the warranty on vinyl is even better. So, the vinyl warranty is a double lifetime warranty. The wood-clad products, they have a great warranty, but it's pretty standard in the industry. Any wood-clad product that I know of has what they call 2010 warranty. 20 years on the exterior finish, so you don't get a lifetime, but 20 years, still a long time. 10 years on the wood components, and then 20 years on the glass.
Well, we'll talk about that when we get to wood.
But just saying vinyl's warranty is even better.
Is even better. Yeah, 100%. And we all know, to be very clear, anything that we buy, the manufacturers put a warranty on it that they know that they can back up.
Yeah, 100%.
So if they're putting a double lifetime warranty on a product, they have tested and retested and tested and retested that product to know how long it's going to last.
I joke about the accidental glass breakage for that reason.
Yeah.
Really like, oh, you mean to tell me they'll replace my glass? Yeah, absolutely, because they never really have to. I mean, the glass is so thick standard that it's going to be hard to break that stuff. And the amount of calls that we get, I mean, in the 18 years I've been here, I can maybe think of a couple, and it was like a gardener who was really vicious with the lawnmower that, that ended up breaking the glass. But yeah, exactly to your point, they're going to warranty what they believe in. So if they really believe in it, they're going to stand behind it.
So the best part of that glass warranty is it is accidental glass breakage.
Yes.
They don't ask how you broke that glass. So the best part is you could literally throw a rock at your husband's head because he annoyed you.
We don't recommend that.
We don't recommend it. But he ducks because his reflexes are that good, and the rock goes over his head and through your brand new window. They will replace it.
That would be an accident.
That would be an accident. But here's the best part. They don't ask why or how it happened.
Yeah.
It is replaced for the entire time. Now, for the second homeowner, they have to transfer it into their name once they purchase the home, correct?
Yes, you do
Something
need to
like
transfer the warranty, but it is transferable. Some different manufacturers, they won't transfer the warranty. So it is just the first homeowner who would have that warranty.
Yeah, but like on a product like Anlin, it is a full double lifetime warranty. So I tell my clients, when you have a product like that, when and if you ever do go to sell your home, you are 100% going to have your realtor advertise
Yeah,
that it's a full lifetime
absolutely.
warranty on the windows and doors for that homeowner. Here's the other thing that I run into with that. Some might say, well, why do I care about the next homeowner? We have a lot of clients that are passing their home down to their kids.
Yeah.
That home is staying in the family. And so whenever that home transfers into the next name, your son, your daughter, anyone, they get the full lifetime warranty too. So people do care if it's staying in their home.
Absolutely. Well, not only that, a lot of our customers do like partial installs. So they may just start with the front of the house. Well, people who are buying the home, they want a nice product. And if they're going to do the rest of the house, they want to be able to match. They want a manufacturer that's going to be around. You know, unfortunately, these manufacturers, they fly by night, you know, could close up shop, not be around, not warranty their product. So you really are doing a service to the next homeowner.
So one of the things that I'm always curious about, just from being a window geek in the industry, is like, how is the frame constructed? Because to me, the if you're putting in really big glass, I mean, even that window there in the front, that's a lot of square footage of glass. And so you would need something very strong. And that's where when I was new in the business, I'm thinking, how could a vinyl extrusion like hold such heavy glass?
Yeah.
So until I learned what the insides, and I happen to have like a corner sample with me. I do.
Let's
Hold on
check it
one
out.
second.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of things while you grab it. It's going to be, you know, the thickness of the vinyl, the chambers, the support of the vinyl. And it's actually fascinating because people think that fiberglass is like a step up in terms of material, right? But actually vinyl has bigger size limitations than fiberglass. One other thing that vinyl does is they weld the corners. So if you hold it up, you're going to actually see, you know, the corners of this window right here. They've been fused together. So if you break this, it's going to break not on the weld, but away from the weld. They actually do that at the factory. When you take a factory tour, they go and break it for you, and it has to break away from the weld. So the reason I mention that, sorry to get totally nerdy, is because if you're talking fiberglass, they mechanically fasten the corners. So in earthquake country in California, if your house is moving around, you don't want that frame to come apart. So it's just fascinating to me that fiberglass is always presented and looked at as a higher end product, but when it comes to size limitations and actual construction of the product, vinyl is actually a little better.
Yeah, and we'll touch on fiberglass in another episode, but the key differences between vinyl and fiberglass is we can paint fiberglass.
Yeah.
So back to the painting, we can't paint the vinyl.
Right.
However, you do have options to get exterior coloring.
Yes.
But just to wrap up on the actual frame, so one thing to look for is a lot of like these honeycomb chambers to make it, that's for stability and strength. And Anlin also does a comfort core.
Yeah.
They actually foam fill. Go ahead. You can talk about that.
Little green foam right here.
Yeah. They foam fill the interior of the frames. And it actually gave them, I believe, a point better on the heat and cold.
So what's the most insulated door in your house?
Ooh, I know this answer.
I thought you might.
The most insulated door in your house is your refrigerator door.
Correct.
Yes.
And so that foam is what's in your refrigerator door.
Nice.
Yeah. So they decided to just, you know, better construct the frame. If you compare it to other manufacturers, again, just something that separates the luxury vinyl from just basic type vinyl, that research development that they do, upgrading their product, just those tweaks that they make to make it just that much better, that much more efficient.
Yeah. So another thing, and I'm really big into safety. There are two types of locks in the industry that we know about. Cam locks.
Yep.
That we physically turn. Most people know that in the old wood windows, you physically turn them. And then the squeeze locks.
Yeah.
So Anlin does a cam lock that you physically turn. Inside that, it's fiberglass reinforced, is it not?
So it's in the meeting rail of the window itself. So with the cam locking mechanism, it actually engages the full length of the window. That's one reason it meets California Forced Entry Code. There's no tool that can get in there and pop that lock, right? That's one reason I prefer a cam versus an auto lock. So a lot of manufacturers present like auto lock so easy, you just push it shut and it closes. It is just clicking to engage though, where a cam lock, like you mentioned, it catches and then it engages the full length. So it's very, very secure. That is definitely something I prefer if another manufacturer offers it as well, but some of them don't. They just do the snap lock.
Yeah. I just got reminded of a funny story from Bill,
Yeah.
our owner. So if you could pull up a picture of like the white vinyl windows.
Sorry, I'm in the colored folder.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Yeah. So
This is
as
a
you
good
can
one.
see, right?
Ta-da!
I mean, this is white vinyl windows and door that
Yeah.
we have there. And when we say vinyl, we're talking about just the actual frame.
Yes.
So the frame that goes around your glass that sits in there. So I guess Bill went out to an appointment years ago. And where was it, Sybil?
In Palmdale.
In Palmdale.
Yeah.
So he goes out to an appointment in Palmdale. And the guy asks for vinyl windows. So Bill starts to explain to him, all about the window and the glass. And he's like, no. I just want an all vinyl window. So the customer actually didn't want any glass whatsoever. He just
all vinyl.
He just wanted vinyl put into his opening. I laugh because I guess if you're not in the business, you would think maybe that's something that's possible.
Absolutely.
However, we don't have any products like that.
No.
Your windows or doors will have glass that you can see out of. I've never heard of such a thing, but I thought that
It
was
happens.
really funny.
Yep. When we do, as many homes as we do, we definitely have some funny stories and some interesting interactions.
Yeah.
You remind me of one of my customers explaining some of the technical details can get a little challenging, because we are nerds. We see all the samples, we go to the factories, we see all the stuff, so we know. But explaining some of it can be a little bit like translating a different language. So I was trying to explain triple pane versus triple strength. And it was like, who's on first, who's on second type of thing. And I swear I was trying so hard and the customer was trying so hard and we were really trying just so hard to like speak the same language. But it's just one of those things that you need a nerd to break down.
Yeah. Well, it's very similar to me going to my doctor.
Yeah.
I've already Googled all of the symptoms.
Don't do that.
I've already diagnosed.
Yeah.
She doesn't know I've done this.
It's
so
all bad.
When she walks into the room, I tell her what time it is.
Yeah. Don't worry about that 8 years of medical school.
Don't worry that she's like a professional. I tell her what time it is, and then she gently directs me to the actual diagnosis of what's going on.
So we do that too. So
Yes.
there's customers.
Yeah.
We have customers who are engineers. We have customers who are really, really very intelligent people. They do a lot of research and you're like, ooh, you know what you're talking about. This will be great because then you can really connect with those people and you can talk about those different options because not everybody really wants to know about the dual durometer seal of a window. But there's customers who might really, connect on that level.
Yeah. And I mean, we work with, so not just the customers, but the customers will have us work one-on-one with like their designer and their contractors.
Absolutely.
So speaking of designers, over the years, how long's American Vision's been around? 22 years.
Yeah, I've been with them 18 and before 2000. So
And
23. Oy.
Trends.
Start to date ourselves.
Yeah. Exactly. We're not going to date ourselves today. So trends.
I started when I was 4. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. 4.5. So trends go in and out with windows, similar to like even our own fashion.
Yes.
Right? So the very in thing for vinyl right now is
Black on black.
Black on black.
Watch out.
Yes.
That reminds me of the Rolling Stones song, Painted Black. Right? Oh, I love it. It's funny because I did think it was a passing fad. Totally thought, for a minute there, because old single pane aluminum is black. And you're like, oh, okay, it's going to pass. It's not a big deal. But everybody loves the black on black, the modern farmhouse look. And some of the manufacturers have taken to it. Like Simonton does do a black on black. That's a beautiful product. Amlin's actually in development. They haven't come out with it yet. But people do really like the black trend. Do you think it's here to stay, though, forever? Or you think it's still a passing fad?
I don't think anything is forever.
Yeah.
Even when we're talking about windows, it is a great option for clients. I also let them know, again, the manufacturers did not have a black. And when we say that, we mean exterior and interior. They didn't have those extrusions.
No.
So they made them.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, white and tan were the only, and Adobe, but we're not going to talk about that. Those were the standard just extrusions. So you are going to pay a premium on that black option. I sell a lot of the Simonton. It's a beautiful product.
It looks great installed.
It looks beautiful. I don't know if we have my last customer in Westlake that just did a whole house in the black.
Oh, that was a fun one. You sent me some great pictures on that.
Yeah. just, for everyone listening, if you want to stay, a little bit lower on a budget, it's best to stick with a white product.
Yeah.
And you can paint your house whatever color you want.
Yeah.
With the white option, it gives it you could change color every 5 years and it doesn't really matter. Your white windows are still going to go. Okay. And this is a black.
This is a black double casement from Simonton.
Double casement from Simonton. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But on that split finish that we talked about, white inside, color exterior, or black, there's a premium cost on both of those products.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just know that you will pay more for them, but they are beautiful.
Yeah. Definitely available options. Still going to be less expensive than, a wood or a wood clad black on black. So there is a perfect product for anybody who's looking for something really unique or special.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you notice this one has grids in between the panes. So grids are another option when we're talking about building a window. The frame, the vinyl, then you have your glass, you have grids, you have hardware. A lot of these things are things that we'll go over with the client at the initial consultation, let them know exactly what everyone has to offer. And what's so cool about American Vision is we're like a hotel with a concierge desk, right? You come to us and we guide you to whatever product is going to fit your needs best.
Yep.
Do you want to go to a play or do you want to go to a bistro? Do you want to go somewhere really fancy or you want to go somewhere just, catch a quick bite? We're going to direct you to whatever is going to fit what you're looking for. So that's the beauty of vinyl. We offer Anlin, we offer Simonton, we offer Milgard, Plygem. We have the full gamut of different options to choose from, but we also want our reputation to be top notch. So we're going to make sure to present the product that we really feel is in your best interest.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I can tell you that most clients will Google what windows they want prior to me coming.
Yeah.
And it's as dangerous as
Googling
me Googling
symptoms
before I go into the doctor's office.
That's true.
And get in trouble with her.
Yeah.
Because there's so much information out there and so much misinformation out there that when we come in, they had no idea there was even that many options. And sometimes a house will never warrant putting in wood windows.
Yeah.
It's your house is great for vinyl. Let's go over those vinyl options. And again, we could spend all day just talking about vinyl with that many options out there.
Yeah.
So I always start with color.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I always start with color. I'm like, okay, so in your dream world, what color are your windows?
Right.
And then that will start, going down that path of where we want to go. Look, we only want black windows, and we don't want wood in here.
Yep.
We have that option, but it'll take us to the right manufacturer.
Definitely a good way to limit the options because you have to narrow down the scope. Otherwise, I joke we'll have to drive a U-Haul to come to estimate appointments just for how many products we offer.
Yeah, 100%. The other
and
thing,
that's just vinyl.
That's just vinyl. There's so many options.
So many options, yeah.
So many options. The other thing is when people are remodeling or they just moved in, sometimes there is a certain order of operation that things need to be done.
Yeah.
So, for those of you listening that need new window treatments,
wait until your windows are done.
Please wait until your windows are done. Your window sizing is going to change. So, whatever windows we're talking about, you definitely want to put in your windows first.
Yeah.
Before spending the money on expensive window treatments. And that goes for whichever ones we're talking about.
Yeah, I would say so. Vinyl, fiberglass, wood clad, it's always going to change the opening just a little bit. So you want to make sure if you're spending a lot of money on window treatments, you get the proper ones and put them in right.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, tell me more.
More? Well,
yes.
I could go on for hours.
I know.
You have to be a little more specific there, okay?
Tell me more about...
Do you want to talk about the frame again? Because I could go on.
That's exactly... I'm like, the frame.
Okay, so actually I have a story for you. So see this little guy here?
Yes.
So that is what they call a weep hole. So a weep hole is designed so that water does not come into the house. So unfortunately, sometimes if wind-driven rain comes in, you might get some buildup in the track. So we'll get occasionally a homeowner saying, oh my God, especially this past winter, it was just like cats and dogs. We'll get customers, I have water in my track, my window is leaking. It's not. It's actually designed that way to build up and then weep out of the window. The problem is people don't know that they put a towel in there and then the towel soaks up the water and that could damage your drywall. So anyone replacing your windows, just know wind-driven rain, a little bit of water, don't panic. It's going to weep out. That's the whole point of the design of that. Now, one other thing about it, people are like, well, why isn't there a little cover on this guy? Because some manufacturers actually have a cover, which I'm not a huge fan of because the vinyl is different and it turns yellow. That's besides the point. This one is open because, Chicago, you're East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
So wind in Chicago, right? How do you get away from it?
Go inside.
Go inside, turn a corner, right?
Turn a corner.
Yep. Get away from it. So this is actually designed like if you saw the inner workings, it would be like a city street where you have to turn on a corner. So you're not going to get dust and dirt and all kinds of stuff coming back up in through those weep holes.
Yep.
So again, if you want to talk a lot, I can continue and find other stories for the frame. You just tell me what you want to talk about.
So it's important to clean that though, too.
Yeah.
So Q-tip. I was just going to say that. So, just like you would clean your ears with a Q-tip,
Yep.
At least once or twice a year, we always suggest, go out and clean out your weep holes with Q-tips.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds silly, but you want to keep that open. And again, having water on that track is like people panic and they think that it's their house is leaking, but it's not actually leaking.
Yeah.
So very, very big deal, and keeping it clean.
I actually just remembered something while you were holding up the frame. So see the fin? See how there's even chambers in the fin?
Yes.
So that allows for structural durability. So like if you try to bend this, you can't. There's a lot of manufacturers out there. If you saw the same corner sample, you could literally bend their frame because it's very, very thin and it doesn't have any structural support. That's actually additional energy efficiency too, because the heat has to come in here, heat up the chamber to heat up to go through each and every honeycomb to get inside your home. So just the design of this frame itself is just so structurally sound and just very, very energy efficient.
Yeah. And I've been up to the plant.
Yeah.
In Clovis. Tell us
it's
how
great.
Yeah.
It's great to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, what's really cool about Anlin is it's a company like ours. Their motto is from our family to yours. You walk around our company, you see that. You walk around their plant, you see that. Like the people are happy. They smile at you. They want to show you what they're doing, show you, what they're working on. And that's really cool, because I've been to a lot of manufacturing plants and some people look miserable, and at Anlin, they just don't. And at American Vision, they're happy. That's the feedback I always get. And it's like, well, our normal retention rate is way higher than anybody that I know of. We hire somebody, they come to stay. Yeah. It's because of culture. It's because of the company. So Anlin is very much that way. When you go to their plant, you can see the high level of skill involved. The people are really dedicated to what they're doing, take great care putting those windows together, and each and every component that they're assembling and putting together, they take, their time in doing it.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Aesthetically, I'm looking at something that is always like a sticking point in the home. The grids.
Grids.
Yeah. So a lot of times I'm coming in, they have existing old wood windows. Yep. And wood windows have true grids that separate each pane of glass. So the grids stick out from the glass, which is beautiful, gorgeous. They're usually like way past their prime though and time to come out. So then when we're switching to a vinyl product, they don't always know that the grids don't sit on top of the glass typically on a vinyl product, and that they are plastic, and most of the time they're between the glass. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about some of those options so that they know what they're getting into.
So the majority of vinyl windows are going to have what they call sculpted, which has like a slight beveling to it, makes it look a little more like an actual grid on the glass, and then a flat grid option. And those are in between the panes. Beauty is they're very easy to clean. There's not a lot of maintenance. You don't have any real issues with them. The drawback is it doesn't look as authentic like a wood window. So some customers see a slight green tint because of that glass in front of the grid. And it depends on your keen eye, right? I've had customers, I point out certain things and they're like, that doesn't bother me. I don't care. And I've had customers, oh my God, that's really going to bother me. Every time I walk up to my house, I'm going to look at that and I don't like it. That's why we have so many different options. So like this one is a mill guard. If you look at the right, that's actually a replaced window. And those grids are sitting on the glass because this particular HOA was very picky. They're like, we don't want it to look different at all. The grids cannot be in between the panes, and anyone living in an HOA might know what an HOA is like. We are very well versed in HOA. So we have lots of different options that will fit their requirements. So you can see the existing window on the left. That's a different unit that hadn't yet replaced. So how close those really look to each other. But the one that we did, obviously more energy efficient, more secure, easy to open and close, easy to clean. So a lot of really cool benefits by upgrading and still maintaining the look.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And if you do that exterior coloring, even if they're between the panes, the interior will be white of the grid, and then the grid is colored on the exterior.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah.
The nerd will just point out that you have to note that in the software and click the right button. Otherwise, you might get white grids with black windows, and that's not a very good look.
And we're not going to get in exactly. And we're not going to get into glass today. But you can get thicker glass that has sound package glass.
Absolutely.
And then sculpted grids are not going to fit between the panes. And then so sometimes the manufacturers won't make it like that.
There are some limitations. Absolutely. And in fact, even like certain manufacturers, the sculpted grids that are smaller, they won't paint them because they can't, control the overspray. So you want it to be one color on one side and one color on the other side. Yeah. So they do either the thicker grid or the flat grid. But yeah, just know there's a lot of different choices. And if your HOA is picky, you're picky, you want something particular, we have the right choices.
Yeah. We do enough of these to know everything. We've come across almost everything.
Speaking of doctors, that kind of scares you, right? Like we're professional window people. We walk up and we immediately know what we're getting into.
Yep.
You wonder like, oh God, do other people in their professions automatically know certain things? Probably.
We do. Yeah, exactly. No. She was judging me the minute she came into the room.
You're a Googler.
But I rest assured, I said, don't worry, I've got this covered, Doc.
You know what's funny? You were mentioning Google, and people do research on their own. Unfortunately, what ties into that too is the install. And I know we're focusing on product, but just to put that out there, you could look up a manufacturer and they'll have a 1-star review, 2-star review. And it's not really their fault. It's the people who are putting that product in. Yeah. But manufacturers should be picky about who they distribute to as well. Make sure that they partner with the right person to put that product in correctly. Yeah. But if an installer messes up the install, that window is a 1-star window, right? Even if it was 5-star when it came off the production line.
Yeah. And speaking of Googling, so just how my doctor felt about having a patient come in who had already Googled and did all the diagnosing. Similar in my business, when I walk in and somebody has a whole Pinterest board of what they would like, I'm like, oh no. Because a lot of times, and just so that everyone knows, some of the stuff on Pinterest is custom made.
Yeah. A lot of it.
A lot of it is literally custom made.
Those flip-up windows?
The flip-up ones, and just put the stick to hold it up, looks like it's almost like a garage door.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Just either they're just not...
Etsy-ish. Yeah.
Very Etsy. Yeah. And not able to find the product, or the manufacturers don't make them.
Right.
Also, vinyl is no different than any other window, that there are all size limitations.
Yeah.
So you can't make certain windows under certain sizes. And you can't make windows over certain sizes.
Yeah.
So all of that is very customizable with a house when we come in. That's why we
love to do that.
We are the concierge. Like I come in and say, that's a great idea. You can't have it. Or that's a great idea.
We'll find it for you. It's there somewhere.
We can do it.
Let me look at my catalog.
Right.
It's true though, because we really want that homeowner, if they're going to have these windows for a lifetime, they want to be able to get the best airflow, be the most secure, be the prettiest from the street. There's a lot of things to consider when you're upgrading that you may
100%.
not if you don't know somebody who knows those things.
Yeah, 100%. I love it.
Awesome.
Anything else?
No.
When we're talking about vinyl,
I could go on for days, but I think we touched on a lot of it.
You could go on for days.
It's yes.
Well, thank you.
No,
this
thank you.
Was so awesome.
Yes.
Appreciate it.